Hello, humans. This podcast is for you because if you're human, that means you have stress. But this podcast is about becoming stronger than stress. And here are the questions I'm answering today. So our first question is, what's the difference between mindfulness and meditation? If you see me looking down, it's because I'm checking my notes and making sure that I am at the right question and keeping track of everything that I wanted to tell you. Mindfulness is being in the present moment, being aware of what you see, what you hear, what you smell, what you taste, what you touch. You're fully in the present when you're doing that. You can't be in the present and think about what happened yesterday or think about what you want to have happen tomorrow. Being mindful means you are in the present, and there's nothing but peace in the present. Worry happens when we're thinking about the future and we get anxious about things not going our way. And we tend to feel depressed when we start thinking about regrets of the past. But when we're here in the now, let's practice this right now. What do you see? What are you hearing? What are you touching? What are you smelling? And if you just had a meal, what are you tasting? In just a few moments, you are here and now with me. That's mindfulness. So what's meditation then? Meditation is almost the opposite. It's about letting go of the here and now and just getting into a very Zen space. Sometimes people start by just paying attention to their breath, feeling their breath going in and out of their body. And you stop thinking about what's going on around you. Most people meditate with their eyes closed. So seeing, gone. You're not listening to what's happening around you because you're focusing on your breath. You're not focusing on what it is that you're touching, what it is that you're smelling. You're simply focusing on your breath. You're narrowing your focus down onto your breath. And eventually, your mind starts to calm down. And when your mind calms down, your body calms down. And this is why people practice mindfulness and meditation. Both help the body to just calm down. If you think about it, when we feel anxious, where do we usually feel it? We feel like a tightness in our chest and balled up intestines and stomach is just tightening. These are physiological feelings that we have, and then our brain starts to interpret these physiological feelings as negative emotions. So when we can calm the mind, we can calm the body, which gives feedback to the mind that everything's okay. Let's see the next question. Why do I feel so awful when I miss a day of exercise? Well, first I want to congratulate you for exercising in the first place. I have written an article and I've talked in other videos about what's the first sign for a lot of us that we're even stressed out before we even recognize that we're stressed out is that we stop exercising. We don't think of it as, oh, I'm stressed out. We think about, I'm so busy. If I just don't work out, I can get more work done. That's the first sign. When you start to tell yourself, oh, I'm too busy to exercise, I'm just going to get some more work done, I'll exercise tomorrow, that is your warning sign that stress is starting to creep up on you. And so, again, congratulations on you for exercising regularly. Your body has now gotten used to using that as a vehicle for just getting rid of stress, for allowing you to be able to calm down. Chances are, I'm going to suspect that maybe you don't have other stress management techniques, that exercise is your go-to for reducing stress. And so if you don't have your go-to for reducing stress, then what is it that you do? You kind of feel miserable. So my suggestion would be to have exercise, continue to do exercise as your form of reducing stress, but I would also suggest adding in something else as well. Maybe the mindfulness or the meditation that we just talked about, or something else. So it depends on what fits your lifestyle. The only thing that I teach people as a one size fits all is breathing techniques. But other than that, you really want to create what fits in your lifestyle. All right, let's check out the next question that got submitted. I feel lazy when I relax. What can I do about that? That is such a great question. I used to be that way too, and a lot of type A people are. Frankly, I don't think there's anything wrong with being type A. We get things done, right? We're the ones who get things done, but we're also the ones who are more likely to have heart disease and heart attacks and a lot of health problems because we just keep going without ever sitting down and relaxing. And that reminds me actually of another video where I talked about how I used to complain a lot about not having any downtime. It just seemed like my life was just going from one thing to another, and there's never seemed to be any kind of downtime. And then I realized that when I actually did sit down for some downtime, my mind would be thinking about something to do. I would be sitting feeling like, isn't there something I should be doing right now? And I would find something to do and get up and do it. And then I realized, on the one hand, I'm asking for downtime, but then on the other hand, when I get the downtime, I'm not appreciating it. I'm wanting it to be over as soon as possible. And I had to look at what's going on with me. Do I really want the downtime or not? Yes, I really did want the downtime. So then the next step was, what are my beliefs about this downtime? What does it mean? Does it mean I'm not being productive? Does it mean that I am being lazy? So if you're having a hard time relaxing, you might want to think about, what does relaxing really mean to you? Not what it should mean to you, because relaxing for all of us should mean that we are taking care of ourselves and we're getting the needed rest that we deserve to have. Unfortunately, if below what we think relaxation should mean is residing these beliefs about you're being lazy, you're not getting stuff done, who knows? Some of us have messages from childhood about not staying in bed and not sleeping in and what that means, and all of that kind of seeps in and prevents us from actually relaxing and enjoying our relaxation moments. If you can start to excavate those thoughts and appreciate that relaxation is necessary to functioning well, you're going to be able to not feel as guilty when you do relax. I try and compare it to sleep. Nobody would tell anybody that if you were to sleep at night that you're being lazy. Our bodies need sleep in order to function well the next day. And that's what relaxation is too. You need to take a break, whether it's a physical break or a mental break or both, in order to come back and be fully recharged. That's how you need to look at the relaxation. It's like taking your car to the gas station to refill the tank. Relaxation is you taking a break to refill your tank. All right, let's see what the next question is. What's the best thing I can do to manage stress? You might think that I would go back to doing a breathing technique to manage stress, but that is actually not the best thing to do to manage stress. It's very good, and as I mentioned earlier, it is the one size fits all that I do teach everyone. However, the best thing that you can do to manage your stress is to make sure that you have a strong support system around you. Research after research will say that the number one buffer against the negative effects of stress is a strong social support. They've done studies where they've had people, for example, one study had a person measure the height of a mountain, the steepness of a mountain when they were alone. And then they had them measure or guesstimate the steepness of the mountain when they were with other people. And guess what? When they were with other people, they didn't guesstimate that mountain to be as steep as they did when they were alone. It's a lot easier to get through things when you're not alone. When you're alone, a molehill can look like a mountain. Whereas when you're with other people, you feel like, okay, I can do this. They're doing it. I'm not alone. If I need help, I've got support. So the best thing that you can do to manage your stress is to make sure that you have a strong support system. Do you have people around you that you can count on? If you don't, then that's your number one job right there, is to find a network. Join a group of people who enjoy doing the things that you enjoy doing and get to know other people. Friendships take time to build. So if you don't have that network, start today. And our last question for today. I'm always so tired and don't know what to do. If you're feeling tired all the time, this is not just a stress management issue. This is more of a lifestyle issue. And in the bigger picture, I think stress management should be a lifestyle issue. The more you're able to incorporate stress management techniques as just a regular part of your life, just like you incorporate exercise as a regular part of your life, you want to incorporate other things too. And stress management techniques don't just involve breathing and progressive muscle relaxation and mindfulness and meditation. This is how do you live your life? Are you having fun? Do you have hobbies? Do you have a strong support network like we just talked about? Are you eating right? Are you skipping meals because you decided you're so busy, let me just work through lunch? What is your lifestyle like? So if you're feeling tired all the time, this is when you need to work either with a coach or a stress management expert to really look at your life and how are you living it. They're gonna take you through your value system. What do you value? A lot of us say we value our families, but when we look at the percentage of time we spend with our families versus the time we spend at work or on other projects, can we really say we value our families? If you value communication, if you value honesty, if you value freedom, if you value cooperation, what are your values and how can you make little tweaks in your life so that they fit your value system? You're going to feel much more energized and feel like you have more purpose and meaning in your life when your lifestyle is in alignment with your value system. And then that way, when things do happen, and things will always happen, unfortunately, we can't stop those things from happening, but then you end up having balance in your life. This is what we need. We can't just take on more and more and more stress and not think that we're not going to suffer from it at the end. We are going to suffer from it at the end. So how do you balance that out? It's a lifestyle thing. It's not about, oh yeah, I've got to meditate just to manage my stress, or I've got to practice my breathing to manage my stress. It's got to go deeper than that. It's got to go into how do I create a lifestyle that I love, even though crap comes in every now and then. Because if you have a lifestyle you love and little things come in, it's not going to throw you off. It's just going to be like, well, that's just life. That's my advice to you, is to create that lifestyle. Go deeper. Really examine what's going on. Do me a favor. If you're enjoying this video, hit the subscribe button now. If you've already done that, then hit the like button. This is the only way I get feedback from you to keep making these kinds of videos. There you have it, insiders. See you next time, and until then, be stronger than stress.